Hi, I'm Veronica and welcome to Jersey City Pilates. For today's class, you need nothing except yourself and we will get started in all fours. So when you're ready, you can meet me there. And start with your hands underneath your shoulders and then have your knees at least hip distance, and then you can have your hands slightly shoulder width or a little bit wider if you'd like. And then take a nice long breath in. And then exhale, round your spine up towards the ceiling. Let your head drop, thinking about curling your tailbone under, really opening through the front of the hip flexors. And then coming into extension. Your abdominals are not just falling towards the floor, you're nice and supported, pressing the ground away. And then round your spine up towards the ceiling again. And then inhale, coming into your extension. Exhale, round your spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, extension. Think about widening your sitting bones and then narrowing them as you round up. And back down. Two more like this. Moving at your own pace. Last one. And find that nice extension. And then walk your hands forward. Keep thinking about lengthening your chest forward and widen your sitting bones as you sit back onto your heels, taking a nice stretch here. A little activation through your upper back. And then round yourself all the way down. Relax your forehead to the floor and take a nice big breath here. And you can just rotate your body, your torso from one side to the other, looking under each armpit. Forehead just rolls on the floor. You can pick your head up and turn it, whatever you prefer. Once more to each side. And then come back up into all fours. And from here, tuck the toes under, lift the knees up, and then press your hips back. And find a down dog with super bent legs. And then just walk your hands back by your feet. And just hang nice and heavy again here with super bent legs. Just taking a nice big stretch. Really think about letting your head go, crown of the head towards the floor. And then shift your weight, make sure it's nice and stable through your feet. And slowly round yourself all the way up to come to stand nice and tall. And then let your shoulders pause on top of your hips. And then from here, you're just going to stand with your feet underneath your hips. You can have your hands on your hips or by your side, whatever you prefer. And then just shift your weight slightly into that left foot. Pick the weight out of your right heel and then hinge at the hip and just lift that leg up to 90. So here, you're nice 90 degrees. Hold on to the wall next to you if you need. And then you're just going to lower that leg, tap your toe down to the floor, and then same thing, bring it back up into that tabletop position. And then lower it back down. And lift. Think that everything that you're doing right now is the same as if you were laying down on your back. So you want your abs to be gently engaged but not pressing out away from you. For 3, 2. Last one, pause with your right leg in tabletop. And then hands on your hips, or you can bring them out in front of you, your choice. You're just gonna hinge and send that leg back. Keep your leg bent, reaching your thigh up towards the ceiling, the back of your thigh. And then you're gonna come back around, bring that leg back to tabletop. And then hinge back, open through the front of the hip. And then coming back up into tabletop. Sort of an RDL here, or it is an RDL, but keeping that leg bent, not worrying about how high it goes, just trying to find that extension and being in as nice a long line as you can be. 3 more. 3, 2, and last one. Good. Ooh. Bring that right leg down, shake your left leg out for just a second. And then one last time, you're gonna bring your right leg up and you're gonna hinge Forward, send that right leg back, but now you're gonna extend your leg. Hold on to something if you need here, and then tap that leg down towards the ground. Arms can also be extended overhead, in front of your chest in a prayer, or on your hips, whatever you prefer. For 6. Lifting from the back of that leg. 5. 4, soft bend in your left leg. 3. 2. Last one. Lower that leg all the way down, stand up nice and tall. And we're gonna switch to the left side. So from here, again, standing up nice and tall, shoulders over your hips, hips over your feet. Slowly take the weight out of that left foot without shifting your hips laterally to the right. And then hinge at the hips. And then just tap those toes down. Keep staying up nice and tall and hinge at the hip. And down. And up. 6 more. Finding a nice steady spot to stare out on the wall in front of you. May be helpful for keeping your balance. For 3. 2. And last one, pause there, and then hinge at the hips. Send that left leg back behind you, thigh reaching up towards the ceiling, a little openness through the front of the hip, and then back into tabletop. And then forward again. And up. Use a wall, a chair, the back of your couch. For balance, should you need. Today I need on this side. And back up. 4 more. 3. 2. Last time you're gonna pause in this position. Extend your left leg back behind you. Tap it down and lift for 8. 7. 6, hips are still staying square to the floor. 4. 3. 2. And last one, bend at the knee, and then lower that leg all the way down. Shake both legs out, and come to the back of your mat. Lift your arms up nice and tall here. Make sure you're not arching your back, you're nice and connected, standing up tall, which may mean bring your arms farther forward. And then you're just gonna soften those knees, dive all the way down over your legs. Bend your knees a whole bunch, head nice and heavy, and then walk yourself out to a plank here. Tuck the tailbone under. If you need to drop your knees, go for it. You're gonna twist over onto your right side, or left hand rather. Feet can be stacked or one in front of the other, and then rotate back to the floor. And then rotating over, open to the left, and back to the center. And over to the right. And back down, nice and slow and controlled, pausing in the center to find your plank before you rotate over to the other side. And back down. Hips are not dragging or sagging towards the floor. And last time to the left. And then lower all the way down. Both hands on the floor, finding your plank. Press into your tiptoes, look over the edge of a cliff or your yoga mat, and send the weight back into your heels. And then again, press forward over the mat and back into your heels, just shifting your weight. Nothing else changes. 4 more. 3. 2. And last one. And back down. Send your hips up nice and high into the ceiling. Again, bend those knees. You can walk your feet nice and wide if that helps you get a little bit more length through your spine. And then drop your knees to the floor and find your tabletop one more time. So from here, you're going to extend your left leg out behind you, right arm out in front, float them up, and then lower down and lift. And lower and lift. You can rotate your thumb on that right side to face the ceiling. Get a little bit more openness across the front of your chest. 3 more. 2. Last one. And then bend the arm and knee underneath you. They don't need to touch. And then extend them long. Then bend underneath and extend. Keeping that stability from your right leg and your left arm. Thinking like you have a little X across the front of your body supporting your abdominals. 2 more. And last one. Lower the right arm and the left leg. And then just find yourself in one nice cat-cow to give your back a little stretch in your body, a little reset. And then again, find a nice long neutral spine. Extending the right leg back behind you. Left arm, thumb reaches up towards the ceiling. And then tap down and lift. Hips are square. Both facing down towards the ceiling. And your weight has not shifted all the way over to the left. You're really pressing into your right hand to keep yourself centered. For 3, 2. Last one, keep it lifted, bend underneath you, and extend. And bend, and extend. 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. And then lower the arm, lower the leg, and then come down onto your stomach. From here, just make a little pillow for your hands. Make the pillow for your head with your hands. Forehead can rest on your hands, and then just shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, and then just take a nice breath and let them go. Let them relax. Feel your torso really sink into the floor. Your whole torso, your arms as well. And then tuck the tailbone under ever so gently so you're getting that little bit of length through the back, low back. And then reach the right toes long, and then reach the left toes long. And you're going to float both the right and left leg off the floor by reaching as long as you can behind you. And then tap them both down and lengthen them both to lift. 4 more. Nice straight legs, or as straight as you can get them. Making sure that that torso is staying heavy and not lifting. Your thighs may not lift, that's fine. For 3, 2, last one, leave the legs lifted. Bend at the knees, bring the heels together, and then lift the thighs and externally rotate to whatever width is comfortable for you. Your heels are together, your feet are flexed, soles of the feet pointing out towards the ceiling. Give your heels a little squeeze and then release. And then a little squeeze and release. Check in on your upper body. Make sure you're not also squeezing your back or your arms or your shoulders as you squeeze those heels. Think about that little squeeze from the pelvic floor is what is engaging your heels. For 3, 2, and last one, keep that little squeeze and then think about reaching so long through the knees that the thighs float almost off the floor, and then squeeze quick for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the squeeze, release the thighs. Give your hips a little shake for 1 second here. We're going to combine both of those things together. So from here, you're going to, again, reach through the knees, lift the thighs, reach the soles of the feet towards the ceiling, squeeze, release the squeeze, lower down. Lift up, squeeze, release, down. Lift, squeeze. For 6, 5. Again, check in on your torso. Make sure that you haven't started to squeeze and release at the shoulders. 3, 2, and last one. And lower the legs all the way down. Give them a nice shake. Your hips as well. Rocking from one side to the other. Let the whole low body release. Good, and then find stillness there. And then you're going to bring your arms back by your sides, palms facing up. And then your shoulders can fall all the way towards the ground. Turn your head to the other direction if you had it turned to one before. And then from here, you're going to externally rotate the arms, lift the palms up off the floor, and then reach back as you rotate your face to face the floor. Reach towards your toes, lift into that extension, and then lower halfway down, and then reach back up and lift. And lower halfway down. Exhale as you lift. And back down. And lift. Good. Keeping that reach through the arms, that little squeeze in the triceps. For 4. 3. 2. Last one, pause and hold. Only come up so high that you can comfortably hold. Lower your arms down and lift them up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 4, 2. Last one, lower everything all the way down. Turn your head to the opposite direction. Give everything a second here to rest. And then we're going to combine both of those things together. So, externally rotate through the upper arm, lift through the fingertips, reach the arms back by your side, rotate your face to face the floor. And then from here, lift the arms up and then lower halfway down, lift the arms. Lower halfway, lift the torso, lift the arms. For 6, 5, 4, make sure your neck is nice and long. 3, 2, last one, pause here. Now bring your thumbs to meet almost over your butt. For 8, 7, torso stays still, legs are heavy. 5, 4, neck is long. 3, 2, last one, lower everything all the way down. Turn your head to whatever side is more comfortable. And just let everything relax here. Give your hips a shake. And then curl the toes under, reach the heels back. And then bring the hands right underneath the shoulders. And then take a nice big inhale. Leave your knees down if you'd like. Exhale. Press yourself up to that plank in a nice long line. And then one more time, find a nice down dog here. And then drop the knees to the floor and then swing them around in front of you. Sitting up nice and tall. Your legs can be bent or straight, or you can alternate between the two, your choice. Hands out in front of you, and then think about rounding halfway back, and then pause, rotate towards the right as you bend your right elbow back by your side, and then reach it forward, sit up nice and tall. Round halfway back, bend through that left elbow, look over your shoulder, and then come all the way back up. Make this a little more fluid now. Round and rotate. And then round and rotate. Thinking about opening through the front of your hips as you roll back. And really rotating through the torso, that upper body and the ribs, so your feet are staying even. You're not rotating through the hips. 3 more to each side. 2. This is 2. Check in on your feet. Make sure as you go right, that right foot isn't sliding back more than the left. And then pause in the center. Roll halfway back. Rotate the right arm open. Resist to bring it back to the center. Rotate the left arm open. Resist to bring it back to the center. And open to the right. And left. Bend your arm if you need to give you a little bit more space. Again, just rotating through the rib cage. This is the last time to the right, the last time to the left. Pause here in the center. Relax your shoulders. Make sure, like mine, they haven't creeped up towards your ears. And then continue to roll all the way down, one vertebrae at a time. And then reach your arms overhead take your thumbs, interlink them if that feels good, and just take a big stretch here, whatever feels nice. Don't worry about if your back has started to arch or your ribs are flaring. Just do what feels good. Now, float the arms up. Find your arms almost in your periphery, or completely in your periphery, until the spot where your back ribs start to connect towards the ground. You're in a nice neutral spine here. Take a big inhale. Exhale, nod the chin as you roll the head, neck, and shoulders up. And then lower all the way back down. Again, arms only go so far back that your back ribs stay on the mat. If you're like me, and this is hard for you, go ahead and bend your knees. And plant your feet on the floor. And curling up. And then lower back down. 4 more. 3. Sliding your ribs towards your hips. Last one, pause here. Bring the hands behind the head. Bring the right leg up into tabletop. You can also do this with your other leg long if you'd like, and then tap that leg down, and then bring it back up. Or you have one like that. Just moving through that, whatever leg this is, your leg that you're bending and lifting. And as you bring that leg in and then lower it away, make sure that nothing much is happening in the abdominals. They're working hard, but they're not starting to dome and press up towards the ceiling into like, you're working hard, poof. Shoulder blades are off the floor if you can. 2. And last one. Lower the head all the way down. Lower the leg all the way down. And curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. And then bring that left leg into tabletop. And then alternate side, single leg. Making sure your hips are even. If that right leg is long, you may notice your weight wants to roll more into that left side than if you have that leg bent and the foot planted on the floor. Shoulder blades off the mat for 4. 3. 2. Last one. And then lower that leg all the way down. Go ahead and lower your head. And then from here, you're going to cross your right ankle over your left leg like you're in that figure 4 stretch. And then you're going to rotate a little bit over onto that right hip. Onto your left hip. And your left arm is going to stay bent and bring it to the floor. You're going to bring your right arm, ignore what I said. Legs are in that figure 4 position. You're laying here with your head on the ground, hands still behind your head. You're going to rotate up and over towards the left, almost like you're stacking your right arm on top of your left, and then come back to center. Your left arm is going to stay on the floor. So you're doing a little oblique twist crunch situation here. 8 more. 7. 6. Just thinking about rotating over to the left. 3. 2. And last one. Good release here. And then take your hands out from behind your head. You're going to bring your hands down by your side. Keeping this position with your legs, you're going to bring yourself up into a tabletop with that left leg. You're going to lower away and then resist to bring it back in. You can keep a hand on your abdominals just to make sure you're not pressing out and your ribs are staying nice and engaged. For 4. 3. 2. Last one. Pause at the top here. Hands come back behind your head. Curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. And then lower the torso and the legs away. And then resist to bring them back into the center. and then release and come back up. It doesn't need to be a full release to the floor. 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. And lower the leg all the way down, uncross, and then lower the torso down. So now your left leg is going to cross tabletop over, or figure 4 over your right leg, and then rotate up and over to the right, and then lower back down. And then up and over to the right, and back down. You can always lower your right leg down to the ground if this is more comfortable. Do the hips. Six more. 5, 4. Really keeping that lower body out of the oblique motion. Your lower body's connected to your obliques. 2. Last one. Lower your head all the way down. Arms come by your sides. Pick your right leg up into tabletop, but remaining in this figure 4 stretch position. And then from here, let that leg fall away from you and resist to bring them back in. Inhale as they fall away. Exhale to bring them back in. But beginning your exhale before you move. 5 more. 2. And last one. Good, hands behind your head. Curl the head, neck, and shoulders up, and then release the legs a few inches away, and then bring everything back in. If you're in a neutral, cool. If you're scooped, cool. But whichever you're in, try to stay there and not rock between neutral and a scoop. For 4, 2, and last one. Good, and then lower that leg down, lower the torso all the way down, reach the arms overhead, and take a nice big stretch. You're going to plant the left leg, head staying on the ground for now. You're gonna reach that right leg up towards the ceiling. Pointed, flexed, your choice, either way. Hips are nice and square. You're gonna lower it all the way down towards the floor and lift it up. And lower it down. And lift. Think about really getting length as you lower, and then keeping that length through the back of the leg as you lift. But don't worry about how high it comes or low. 3 more. 2. And last one. Pause with it lifting. Left hand behind your head. You're going to twist and rotate up and over towards the right, and then back down. And twist. And down. You can always bring that right hand out to the side. For 4. 3. 2. Feel the weight of your leg really settling that leg into your hip. 2. Last one, keep it twisted, lower it down, and lift for 6. 5. 4. Nice and slow and controlled. The weight is still in that left hip. 3. 2. And last one. And then bring that knee into your chest. Lower your left leg all the way down towards the floor. Take a big inhale. Exhale, let that right leg really relax into your arms. Another big inhale. And then exhale, pull it across your body over to the left. Again, right hand can reach out to the side or be in a cactus position, your choice. Good, and then roll back. And now plant that right leg on the ground. Left leg reaches long. Hands are by your side, float it up towards the ceiling, and then back down. And lift and lower. Hips are square. Upper body is nice and relaxed. Your collarbone is open. You're not pulling your shoulder blades off the ground like so. 3 more. 2. Last one, pause at the top. Right hand behind your head, left arm out to the side. If you'd like, twist and rotate for 8, 7. Really thinking about reaching those right ribs over towards your left hip. You can bend your knee a little. It doesn't need to be straight up towards the ceiling. Just make sure that that femur is nice and heavily weighted into your hip. 2 more. Last one, pause and stay rotated. Lower the leg and lift for 8. Think about rotating up and over for 4, 3, 2, make sure your chin isn't pressing towards your chest. Last one. And then lower all the way down, uncurl your torso, bring that left leg into your chest and extend the right leg long for a nice stretch. Take a big inhale. And then exhale. Try to release all that tension in the legs and really relax. One more big inhale. Exhale, bring that left leg across your body to the right. Have your left arm either extended all the way or in this cactus shape. One more breath here. And then extend that leg long. Reach the arms overhead. In your periphery, back ribs are connected to the mat. Press down, curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, draw the ribs to the hips and curl yourself all the way up. Reach long through the feet and reach up and over your legs. Of course, bend your knees if you need. And then stack yourself all the way back up. From here, you're going to bring your hands back behind you and you're going to plant your feet on the floor. So you can always do this with blocks underneath your hands if that's more comfortable, if you want a little bit additional height. Fingers ideally pointed towards your hips. If you need to rotate them the other direction, that's fine. Just make sure that your hand is fully planted on the floor and that you're not just rounded here. You're nice and open through the chest. So to start, legs are bent. You're just going to think about pressing your hands into the floor and finding that lengthened space with a slight little lift through the upper back and then relax down. And then again, find that little lift, press through the hands, almost like a scat push-up, just in a different direction. One last time. Exhale, press. Hold this press here. Feet are about hip distance. Curl the tailbone under, send the hips forward, send the knees forward, and lift yourself up into a reverse tabletop. And then from here, keep pressing through the hands. Send your hips towards your hands. Don't let them touch the ground. Pull your knees forward, lift yourself back up into that tabletop. And then slide your hips back towards your hands. Keep pressing the floor away. And then think like you're engaging your hamstrings to drag your hips forward as you come up. And then back towards your hands. Keep that press, lift. 2 more. Really pull the heels towards the hands. As you go back for the last one, keep lifting, press up, and then lower the hips all the way down, close towards your heels, and then let your legs come long, and then peel yourself out of this. Reach forward over your legs like you're rounding over a nice big ball. If you were against a wall, your low back would still be there, but your upper back would not be. And then you're going to peel yourself up and stack yourself against that imaginary wall. Shoulders are relaxed. And then again, peel forward, round over the legs. Ears between the biceps. And then peel yourself back up. 2 more. And back up. Last one. And stack yourself all the way up. Good. From here, come onto your knees. So you're going to find a nice high kneeling position here. Tuck the tailbone under so you're stacked up nice and tall. And think as though you are stuck between 2 panes of glass. Shoulders are remaining over your hips, hips over your knees, hips are square. You're going to take a nice big inhale in, and then exhale, float your arms up as you hinge back from the knees, and then press through the arms as you come up nice and tall. And then hinge back, head, shoulders, ribs, all at the same time going back, and then lift the arms and come forward. This is called thigh stretch for a very good reason. Think like you are holding a block between your legs. That pelvic floor is really lifted. 3, 2, and last one. And then come all the way up. And then sit your hips back onto your heels. And then just rock from one side to the other here. And then you're going to come back up. Again, find that positioning where you're up nice and tall. And then you're going to bring your right foot in front of you. So you're in a nice 90 position here. Tuck the tailbone under. Grab a towel or fold your mat under if you need. And you're just going to reach your arms out in front of you. And then here, you're just going to reach your left arm back. And ideally, you're in a nice open twist here. If you are really inflexible, not mobile at all, your range of motion may be limited, but really think about opening those ribs up, reaching that knee forward. And then use your balance here, swing back around. And then again, open that left arm out, reach through those right fingertips as you twist, and then come back and square yourself off. 2 more. Think about sliding your right heel towards your left knee. And last one, open here. And then send your right hand towards the floor and lift your left arm up towards the ceiling. And then from here, you're just going to tap your left hand down. Right hand is on the right side, right inside of your foot. And then open up towards the left. Pressing your knee into your shoulder into your knee to give you a little bit of leverage here. And open and back down. 2 more. Last one. And then press down through that left arm. Untwist I don't know what that was. And now untwist yourself all the way. Hands can come to your hips. And you're just going to think about keeping nice and stable through that left side. Again, tailbone gently tucked under. You're going to lift your thigh to get that right leg to come just an inch off the ground. Lifting that right foot. There we go. And back down. And then without changing the torso, lift that right foot and tap down. If that's too hard, think just about lifting the heel and back down. We're going to do 4 more. Working on balance. 3, 2, and last one. Lower all the way down. Bring your hands down to the floor. Bring that right knee underneath you, and then bring your left knee now out, and then stack yourself up nice and tall. Good, tuck the tailbone under here. Up tall, hands out in front of you, and then bend through that right arm and open all the way back. Really think about reaching both fingertips out in opposition. Your hips can rotate a little, and then twist back to the center. Heel of that right leg is energized towards your right knee, and forward. 3 more. Just notice if one side you have a little less mobility than the others. Maybe you want to focus a tiny bit more on that side. Good. Pause here. Send the left hand down towards the ground, and then really reach that right hand up towards the ceiling and rotate. And then tap that right arm down and lift back up. And tap it down and lift. And down. And lift. 1 more. Pause here. Rotate your left palm away, press down, find yourself in that nice twist, and then come back to the center. Hands can be out long or on your hips, your choice. Bring that left foot slightly out wider from center line. And then from here, find yourself in a nice stable position. So you take a big inhale. On your exhale, float that right foot off the ground, or left foot off the ground. We started with a little balance. We're going to end with a little balance. 3 more. Not changing that torso. 2. Last one. And lower all the way down. Reach your hands towards the floor. Bring both knees back, one on top of the other, or one next to the other. And then bring your hands slightly forward of your shoulders. Send your hips back, and then you're going to make a nice little circle with your hips around counterclockwise for 4, 3, 2, take your torso with you. Don't let your abdominals start to just descend towards the floor. And then pause at the top, and then reverse over to the right. You got a sticky spot, you can pause there. Neck is nice and long. 3 more. 2. And last one, pause here in this little kneeling plank. Really find that length through the front of your body. Tuck the toes under, send the heels back. Find yourself in a nice plank here. Press the weight into your toes, look over that cliff, and then send the weight back. 4 more, over the cliff and back. Just notice if you're maybe feeling a little bit more supported now. Maybe this is easier. Maybe you're tired and it's way harder. 2. Last one. Lift the hips. Bring the feet almost as wide or as wide as your mat. And then bend your knees and really, really, really find a nice stretch through the back. Bring your feet all the way together. Heels together, toes apart. Bend the knees down towards the floor. Untuck the toes so that your toes come together. And then slowly release down into a nice child's pose here. Walk your hands over to the right. And then rotate yourself rotate yourself open to the right. You can even use your right hand for a little leverage. And then re-extend it if that feels good. 2 more breaths here. Last one. And then come back through center. Hands over to the left side, and then really think about rotating yourself open towards the left for 3 breaths. 2. And last one. Bring yourself back to the center and then slowly slide all the way up and find yourself in a kneeling position. If this is uncomfortable, you can sit. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Externally rotate through the palms. Think about growing a little taller and then finding yourself in nice alignment. Maybe bringing your arms slightly farther forward And then press down. Think about growing tall through the crown of your head. And then take a big exhale as your arms find your sides. And you are all finished. Thanks.